Meteorologist Danielle Noyce here with your insights video for the 1 Degree Outside Weather Network on this busy holiday week. Mostly light snow on the way for Tuesday. Heavier, longer lasting for some of Maine and New Hampshire. Quiet Christmas Eve and day overall. There may be a couple ambiance flurries and snow showers in northern New England especially. We'll take a look at those, and more snow possible on Friday. We'll break down all the details. Meanwhile, Matt and I remember when this list was a couple of names long. Now you can barely see the names. Over 700 of you members, and we are so grateful for each and every one of you. We appreciate your support, and if you're looking for a last-minute gift idea for the snow lover or winter sports enthusiast in your life, we're running a special promo code through the end of the month for 15% off. We've got all New England resorts, all snowmobile clubs, backcountry, lift hold potential, snow forecast, wind chill, more, and of course, the written discussions from Matt and I twice a week. And that's the 1 Degree Outside enthusiast membership level. But we have 4 membership levels to choose from. All the details at membership.onedegreeoutside.com and that promo code at snowsports.onedegreeoutside.com as well. All right, holiday forecast in general. We're going to get to the nitty gritty too. But a coastal snow shower still possible on Wednesday for Christmas Eve. Temperatures in the mid 30s. Pretty seasonable Christmas Day overall. A blend of clouds and some breaks of sunshine. Chance of snow on Friday with some colder air that's in place to end the week. Meanwhile, it's a busy travel day for our Tuesday, and we are talking about some wet weather that's coming into the Pacific Northwest and the West Coast. As of Monday, there have been some delays in San Francisco, and that's as that atmospheric river that was positioned over the Pacific Northwest has slid a little farther south. So aiming some areas of rain and gusty wind out through California. We get a little bump up, and then we're on the colder side with that chilly air in place across the Northeast. Here's our next disturbance coming in. So we've got some light rain and snow that's on the way. Rain, depending on where you are, is generally focused along the south coast. But for us, it's pockets of light snow that will organize during the day on Tuesday into Tuesday night. And Wednesday, there'll still be some areas around as that little wind shift comes through. And that's what Matt talked about. There will be some pockets of light snow that linger into Wednesday, but it's not a steady swath of snow. It's just a few lingering ones. And then during the day on Thursday for Christmas Day itself, we get a couple of snow showers, generally light across northern New England, that add an additional coating to a couple inches in spots. Otherwise, it's a generally quiet Christmas Day. Friday, increasing clouds out ahead of the next disturbance that will be coming in, likely to take a track to our south. A lot of it has to do with the atmospheric energy, right? The bundles high in the sky that help to drive our weather. So here comes one little bundle coming over us on Tuesday, fast-moving, quick disturbances that will push offshore. And it doesn't organize a whole lot. So that's why even with the light snow that comes through on Tuesday, it will generally come in spurts. It'll let up. It's not like it has really good snow growth or heavy snow potential for most of us. And then there's that disturbance on Friday. Notice a lot of the energy is just off to our south and west. So we'll watch the track closely, but it does look like the storm itself will pass to our south and west. That does put us on the colder side. So as we get a little energy overhead, that will help to focus some pockets of snow, particularly in southwestern New England. So we'll keep you posted on that. Temperatures above our heads, oh, they're cold. But the cold does ease somewhat in the coming days. You notice the deep purples shifting off to the north and east. And that freezing line does come into southwestern New England, into New York City, briefly along the Connecticut coastline. And then the cold air does come back in, although it's in a moderated form, not quite as chilly as we have to start the week. So let's zoom in and talk about Tuesday. By early tomorrow morning, some snow breaking out in southwestern New England. And it's cold enough to stick at the onset. So treatments ahead of time will do the trick. Notice the south coast gets a little bit milder. So that's why we do mix with raindrops. Even by midday to early afternoon, we're right around the freezing mark. So treatments are down, they're doing their job, but there will be pockets of snow that will be steady either side of lunchtime to early afternoon. We mix with some raindrops right inside of 128 for a time and then may flip back to snow. So it will be a mess overall. It's not a high impact event in terms of the amount of snow that will come down. That said, still some pockets of rain for the South Shore and Cape by the evening. Back edge coming through southwestern New England. Still some steadier to heavier pockets of snow that will be focused along the Maine coastline, but notice we are at or just slightly above freezing, so it will be a wet, pastier snow, fluffier through far northern New England where we're in the 20s, so it'll pile up a little bit better. Midnight, things generally wrapping up, lingering showers possible, and then we do drop to freezing very briefly overnight. So I do think that there may be some slippery spots or icy spots on anything untreated as you head into Tuesday night. Wednesday, here's what we were talking about. Some pockets of snow. Watch this rotate down across eastern Massachusetts, basically from Worcester Points east for a brief time on Wednesday morning. By lunchtime, it's a lingering shower. It's done. But again, the impact will be fairly minimal because that temperature is above the freezing mark. Other than that, our Wednesday is generally quiet and no problem for the big guy in red Wednesday evening and night with generally quiet conditions and temperatures that will be on the chilly side. So how much snow? This is the most likely snow scenario. And again, it's not a blockbuster storm, but for southern New England, it's generally a coating along the south coast. We may get a couple wet flakes to mix in on Cape Cod, but most spots, you notice it's an inch, maybe two, a little bit more than that in a few isolated spots, northern Massachusetts, then into the Berkshires where it's more like 2 to 4. Northern New England, it is a widespread 3 to 6 inch event, but the purples you see here, so including some of the summits of the Green Mountains, northern New Hampshire, and then stretching through west central Maine, that's where we are talking about a 4 to 8 inch event with some locally higher totals possible. A little bit less across far northern and eastern Maine, although you'll add a little bit more during the day on Wednesday. Wind is not an issue with this either. It may pick up a little bit, 10 to 20 miles per hour, but not concerned about coastal issues or strong wind gusts. Wednesday, though, on Christmas Eve day, we do get a brief burst of wind as that little wind shift comes through. Watch what happens. Some 20 to 30 mile per hour wind gusts, isolated gusts to 40 in the hilltops and in southern New England and on Cape Cod. By the time we get to Wednesday, late morning to early afternoon, and then it will tend to subside after that and continue to ease through Christmas Eve evening and overnight into Christmas Day itself. So high temperatures for our Tuesday, 30s for most areas, mildest along the south coast where we mix with those raindrops, coolest in far northern New England where it's a fluffier snow consistency. Tuesday night, widespread 20s on the map, although northern Maine we're in the teens and even single digits back up near Caribou. Wednesday for Christmas Eve day, temperatures generally running near seasonable, 35 to 40 in southern New England, either side of about 30 in the far north country and low to mid 30s in between. Again, that lingering snow shower here in far eastern New England, especially during the morning until about midday, will shift offshore. Wednesday night, it gets chilly. Perfect classic winter weather here for Christmas Eve night. Teens in much of northern New England and all the way down to southern New England, we're in the lower 20s. Christmas Day itself, sunshine, clouds, not a whole lot of wind. It will gust occasionally over 20 miles per hour, 30s to near 40 degrees. You'll see it for your exact location right in our free weather app. Search 1 degree outside weather in the App Store and Google Play. See why we have thousands of 5-star reviews and why it's the only weather app you're going to need. And a reminder, that promo code right on through the end of the month, SNOW, SNO 2025 at snowsports.onedegreeoutside.com. Don't forget, around this holiday season, too, you can watch this on TV. Open up the YouTube app on your smart TV. We're on 24/7, anytime, anywhere. Just search 1 Degree Outside Network.